While in the US, the national debt and credit rating casts a foreboding shadow on nearly every facet of politics, state-level debt is rarely discussed. Today we're going to look at which states have the most debt, the most proportional debt, and the worst credit ratings to see which ones might be in the worst shape. I can give you the answer on what state has the most debt. It's California. This is unsurprising, as it is the largest state by population by far, and is the largest economy, an economy now bigger than Russia and Canada in terms of GDP. What is more interesting then is to look at the state's debt-to-GDP ratio. Just like when dealing with personal debt, it becomes much more of a problem when it starts to exceed your income level. When looking at those 5 states with the highest debt-to-GDP ratio, we have, in 5th place, Connecticut with a ratio of 0.16. In 4th, we have Rhode Island at 0.17, 3rd is Hawaii at 0.18, and also at 0.18, but just a bit higher is our 2nd place winner, the Empire State, New York. And lastly, for our most proportionally indebted state, we have Kentucky at 0.2. This means that Kentucky currently has around 1/5 of the debt as the entire state produces in value over a year. Why Kentucky is so in debt is another story. The government has continually underfunded their state pension system and had hoped market performance could outpace their ever-increasing pool of state retirees pulling from the pension. While Kentucky did receive some federal aid to help stem the crisis, currently the government can only cover 54% of promised pension benefits. With Kentucky at the top, followed by 4 blue states, it looks inconclusive whether state indebtedness is just a blue state issue. Looking at the top 10, several more redder states like West Virginia and Alaska join the list, although 7 out of 10 still are solidly blue states. But just because a state carries more debt proportionally does not mean it is less likely to pay off its debt. Some states are growing fast enough that they can outpace their debt, while others have had several challenges that have made state debt holders wary of default. In fact, while Kentucky isn't great, it's not too bad, especially looking at some others. There are 3 large credit raters, but for simplicity we'll just be looking at the S&P ratings. The scale for these ratings are a little silly, with AAA being the best, then AA, then just A, then the BBB all the way down, oh yeah, and there's pluses and minuses just like in school. In general, investors start to get worried once a state or county goes into the B category. So for Kentucky, they have just a rating of A. Not great, but not too bad considering other states. If you remember, even the US national government doesn't have a AAA rating anymore. The 2 states that are rated much lower than Kentucky are Illinois and New Jersey. Illinois has a rating of A-, and New Jersey a rating of BBB by S&P, although the 3 credit rating agencies do differ on which of the 2 they rank lower. There are a few reasons for the lower credit rating of these states. Both have significant current and upcoming issues with pension payments. Both have also had lots of issues with state-level corruption, although Illinois probably worse, and many creditors have become more worried with Illinois' difficulty passing budgets over the past few years. Looking at trends, however, New Jersey has been continually upgrading its credit ratings over the past few years, although Illinois has not been improving. So there we have it, the quote, brokest states. Do you live in Kentucky, Illinois, or New Jersey? Are you worried about the state's debt, or not at all? Well, before we go, I want to add some positivity into the end of this video, so we'll look at the states with the best debt-to-GDP ratio. The 5th best state here is Georgia at 0.08, and 4th is Oklahoma, also at 0.08, while 3rd is North Carolina at 0.07. 2nd best is Idaho at 0.06, and the very best state in this statistic is Wyoming at 0.04. I guess we won't see Yellowstone getting repossessed soon.